Marcus Rashford. Oh, glorious! That is a special one.
Boom, bam, bam. You are inside the United Hour. I am President Chad. Next to me on this side is the man Courtney, and down below is the man Zaire. We are here. We're going to be talking about United business, and we're also going to be talking about the World Cup. So Ten Hag has spoken a little bit about, the possible sale of United. So we're going to be touching on that. I don't know about you, but I've been asking myself, not just recently, not just today, but ever since I first heard about it, I've been asking myself what has been going on with Jadon Sancho. So we're going to be addressing that question as well today. What is going on with Jadon Sancho? All of that being said, I want to start the program talking about the World Cup. Manchester United are going to have two players, going to have a World Cup winning centre back in our ranks on Sunday. We are guaranteed of that. Which one is going to be, we're not sure about that, but it's guaranteed that we are going to have a World Cup winning centre back on Sunday. Talking about World Cup winnings, I put my foot in my mouth there. I was going to say talking about World Cup winning centre backs, but he didn't win anything. I was going to talk about Harry Maguire.
We boy, Chad boy.
And the president choosing violence, boy.
Yeah, boy. It's a lovely Thursday evening, boy, Chad boy.
It is Christmas, people, and on this channel, we love to give stuff away. So we have a signed Harry Maguire shirt to give away for Christmas. As well as you all know, we have a signed Cantona plaque. That is at the end of the season, once we hit our goals, our subscription goals. So make sure and subscribe. Like, if you are interested in getting a signed Harry Maguire shirt, now hear me out, folks. I know you may not care about Harry Maguire, right? But it is club memorabilia. It is signed. It has its authentication. We don't give away stuff here unless it's authenticated. So it is something that you could frame, put it up on a wall. If you don't want to put Harry Maguire number anyway, turn it around and frame the front. It don't matter, but it is something that will definitely have value. Harry Maguire isn't going anywhere. And even if he is leaving Manchester United, he definitely ain't going nowhere for England. We know he's going to make the next two cups. Who knows? He might win something. It might go up in value. So what do you need to do if you're interested in getting that Harry Maguire shirt? Go to YouTube and type in Merry Christmas. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and just type in Merry Christmas, and that's it, because it's our Christmas giveaway, right? So we're going to be running right through until our Boxing Day fixture, which is on the 27th. We are going to have a big Boxing Day lime on that day as well. Stay tuned for more information where that is concerned. And we're going to have the draw live during our Boxing Day halftime, during our Boxing Day fixture. We're going to see who is the winner of that Harry Maguire shirt. Let's jump into the comments. Good afternoon to Martin Phillip, and good afternoon to Shabaka. Shabaka is saying, what is he saying here? People taking a break from studies to take you all in. Well, that is good. Entertainment is important. First thing is great that United can boast once again we have World Cup winners in our squad. Answer, I assume, to the question of Martinez versus Varane. Martinez, listen, I'll take the Maguire t-shirt if no one wants it. All you have to do, bro, go to YouTube, like the video, and comment Merry Christmas. And your opportunity, your chance to get that Maguire t-shirt is going to be recorded. So, gentlemen, let's jump into it. The question I want to ask you all, well, I don't understand why Robert is on the top considering he came in last, but that's how it does go. Question I want to ask you all is, which of these two defenders has had the better tournament? And I want to start with Courtney.
I would say Martinez has had the better tournament. Uh, if you look at it overall, I think Varane has looked okay. Martinez has looked the superior defender when he has played. I don't know why the coach has been either moving him in or bringing him on as a sub. I would think that Martinez, based on his form, has would have been one of the first names on the team sheet, but he's preferred to use Otamendi in that particular position, which to me don't really make sense because Otamendi looking too wholesome these days. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, Martinez for me has looked the more solid of the two.
Talk to me, Zaire.
Um, I guess you could say I would have to say Martinez as well because I think he's been tested a little more than Rafa has. One, and he has come on at times where he has been asked to help see out the game when they were in front, and the coach decided to go with three centre backs to close out the game. For example, the closing minutes of the Croatia game is when he brought him on, right? So he has been tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that they don't concede late on in the game. Rafa, I think, has the luxury of nobody really and truly in the 6 games that they've played went out and out and attacked France, at least on my recollection. Right? England for a little spell, yes, but I mean, it wasn't anything that Rafa couldn't handle. And he came through that pretty simply. So I'd have to give the vote to Martinez as well. But as we were talking earlier about the shirt, we don't have to frame that shirt, chat. That shirt will be charged for impersonating a world class defender. But anyhow.
Oh, don't do the man that now. Don't do the man that. Don't do the man that. The man didn't have a bad tournament.
That is your club captain. We cannot
My club
allow such
captain.
things. That is your club captain. And until he is not our club captain, or until you're supporting another club, you have to stand behind your captain.
I'll give the man. The man had a
Dr.
couple
Mira,
of decent games for England.
Always. Martin Phillip always says, Harry Maguire needs to wear a Three Lions jersey under his United jersey, and therefore we will get the best out of him because when he put on that Three Lions jersey, we clearly see a more consistent Harry Maguire for England all the time. I struggle to think of a bad performance from Harry Maguire for England. I struggle. And we all know we could list a lot of bad performances for United. Talk to me, Robert. Varane, Martinez, who has had the better tournament so far?
Well, I would say Varane. Because I think he came up against more, I guess, proper opposition than Martinez. Martinez has been kind of in and out the squad. Varane has been a consistent starter for France. So I think the coach has more faith in Varane than the other guy has in Martinez. Because I think if the coach had more faith in him, I think he would start more. He would start more games. So I mean, I would say Varane has had the better tournament so far. And remember too, Argentina already paid off FIFA, right? Taking the World Cup. So so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Right? Messi will get the trophy Sunday. Right? Messi will get the trophy on Sunday. You will see it. Mark my words. They gain a penalty by minute 38. Guarantee. Bam. Trust me. People don't pay them money.
I have no court close where about
That's okay. I have plenty. I go say brave. I like Martinez, but we all know the truth.
So, Ramia, let me weigh in on the topic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Martinez, Argentina has not conceded any goal when Martinez is on the pitch. Not so. The game
Correct.
that he started didn't that end with them with a clean sheet?
That was in the group stage, right? That
And the
was the
games that he
second
came
game.
on, when he came on, they
He
didn't
came
concede any
on
goals.
in the Saudi Arabia game. He came on after they conceded the second
Yeah,
goal.
after.
Yeah.
It was
So
2-1.
since he is played, he hasn't the team hasn't conceded. Like you all, I really don't know
Did
what's
he come on
going
in the
on.
Holland game?
The,
Uh,
Did he come on in the Netherlands game?
I
Because
think
if
so,
he
you
came
know.
on in the Netherlands game, they conceded those 2 goals late on it.
I
So
think.
unless he
I'm not
came
sure.
on in extra time,
That was the. I think so.
ah,
I'm not sure. I know he
I'm
was
So
there
from that
for the last game.
perspective, we could say that Martinez is doing well. But from the perspective of where Robert is taking it, in terms of who you play, and also in terms of regular starting and playing time, I think I'm gonna have to go with Varane for this one and really say that Varane is handling the business. Um, Before we move on to the next topic, I want to ask you all simply this: who would you take? The final is coming up. France, I don't think have anybody else to start besides Varane, but we've seen Argentina start Otamendi. Anybody here think that they should that Martinez should get a start on the weekend?
He won't.
you.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would. I think the coach will stick with the team that got him there. I think Martinez will probably come on, but I don't think he would change that much in the back. It don't make sense.
and then too, he will look at it in terms of, like most of the English pundits have wrongly assumed so far, that Martinez cannot hold his own against a taller, physical centre forward, which is what Giroud is, and he will be their starting number 9 on Sunday.
Yeah,
So
but Giroud not really that tall, and with
that's
Giroud
okay. He still
greatest asset is his movement. So you
his
need
movement,
somebody
but the
mobile.
man gets his head on a ball, boy. The man gets his head on a ball. I remember the England game, the man
True,
was literally almost
true,
to the ground and get his head on a ball.
true.
Right?
But I mean,
So
between Otamendi and Martinez, I definitely think in terms of mobility, Martinez is more mobile. But
but I would
we'll see.
prefer he doesn't start Martinez, honestly, because that way when France come into on them, it's not Martinez's fault.
I like that. I like that. We will yeah, I like that. I like that. So, gentlemen, I want to talk a little bit about our coach, Eric Ten Hag. He has been giving some interviews and he says that the sale of Manchester United is a good thing. He said that Richard Arnold has spoken to him, CEO of the club, and has told him that new owners would bring new investment. Now we're also hearing from the people who are responsible, who are handling the sale, right? Who happen to be the same people that handle the Chelsea sale. So these are people who one know the requirements to get into the Premier League, and they very recently sold a club for over $2 billion, right? They organized the sale of Chelsea, and they are now responsible for organizing the sale of Manchester United. So we're not talking about people who are inexperienced at this. They have made a statement and said that the Glazers would like stuff to be handled maybe as early as March, right? We may have new owners as early as March. Now, one of my concerns with the whole sale of United is let's look at the sale of Chelsea for a little bit. The owner of Chelsea wanted investment in the club, so I think there had to be a commitment for a substantial amount of money invested in the players and invested in the club, and there was there were other stipulations, right? We know Manchester United is close to $1 billion in debt. We know that the stadium needs to be revamped. I personally believe that's one of the major factors why the Glazers are selling now, because they would have looked and priced that and told themselves, nah, that we can't afford that. Well, not we can't, we refuse to afford that, right? Not that they can't afford it, but they refuse to afford that. Um, so my question to you all is this: if the sale goes forward, do you think that there would be stipulations like there was with Chelsea, that you have to invest? There must be a commitment to invest a certain amount of money in the club, a commitment to refurbish or rebuild or do something, upgrade the stadium and facilities. Do you think these are things that are going to be in the contract, a commitment to clear off the debt of the club? Or do you all think that the Glazers are just looking to take the money and run?
They're looking to take the money and run.
Duh.
So so we know that historically that is how the Glazers have dealt with Manchester United. But the asking price that we're hearing, everybody that I have heard spoke about it, has included the debt in the asking price, right? So the idea is that the new owner, in paying the Glazers this money, is also going to be paying off the debt. And part of that money is going to go to clearing the debt. I mean, at the very least, if that happens, wouldn't you all consider that a good thing?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
But I
but they would have to sell it. They would have to spend it either how. Because if the money is included in the sale price, all it simply means is that the Glazers are using that to pay off the debt when they leave, so nothing comes out of their pocket. If the
correct.
debt is if the debt
No,
is
no. Well,
not included, if it's not included in the sales price, then you still have to turn around and pay it.
there are two options, right? Normally, when you're selling an asset, like a house or whatever, you clear the debts of the asset. So the
Hmm.
person who wants to buy it, if it has debts, they're going to have to pay off the outstanding debt. There is also the option, and we know that these guys, at least one of the brothers, sits on the board of Goldman Sachs at a point in time. So these guys know the financial system works. There's also an option where they could sell the asset with the debt, meaning that the people who hold the debt, the financial institutions that hold the debt, will transfer the debt from the Glazers to the new owners,
Hmm.
right? So you pay the Glazers take their money and bust out, and you buy the club, but you still have the debt. So that is, let's understand that that is also an option, right?
Hmm.
That is something
But
that
that
can happen.
but that don't make
But I'm
sense.
not hearing that, because the figures I'm hearing includes the debt. Go ahead, Kutni.
That don't make sense. That taking that second option on buying the club and buying the debt don't make sense because you're gonna have to pay it back at some point. So
Well,
I would.
yeah, but $1 billion now versus $1 billion over time,
Yeah, but
most people will take a
remember,
billion
Chad.
dollars over time.
Right, but remember, Chad, also when they buy Manchester United, there are other things that have to happen. They have to reinvest in the squad. They have to invest in Carrington. They have to invest in the other training thing. I forget what's the name of it. The old one we used
Mhm,
to use
mhm.
long time.
The cliff.
The cliff.
The Cliff. And you also have to do investment work in Old Trafford.
But let's not forget the Sports Village for the ladies.
And they have to
Right.
build the facilities for the ladies, which I think the Cliff is what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be moving them to the Cliff. And I think they also want to build a smaller stadium for the ladies as well. That's somewhere I hear that somewhere in the plan. So yeah, you might as well knock out the billion, see what you're remaining with, and then prioritize what improvement works you're going to do.
You see, when you think about it this way too, the Glazers raised money for this purchase by leveraging the assets of the club when they bought the club. Yes? Because the club was entirely debt free at the point when they bought the club. Now,
Hmm.
nobody can do that again. but by paying off the debt and returning the club to a state of debt free will enable new owners to find ways to raise cash without having to dip into their pocket for what is allegedly going to be a minimum of $250 million to refurbish Old Trafford. So it
And as
will
it said,
be
as
an
if they make the choice to refurbish, if we go with the choice of rebuilding Old Trafford, is going to cost a whole lot more.
but personally, I hope they don't, because I haven't blessed my eyes on the Theater of Dreams in person, and I would love to do that
Well,
before I
the
die.
theater of dreams will always be the theater of dreams, but I think one of the plans that I saw is that they would have taken the existing car park space and built
Hmm.
the new stadium there, and it will be the new Old Trafford.
Hmm.
It is not like where um Arsenal when they moved from Highbury to
Emirates.
to the Emirates, or even City when they move their stadiums. It's not going to be like that. It's still going to be Old Trafford, but just the new Old Trafford, which is something that they've done before. Um, After the bombing, the World War, where the original Old Trafford structure was destroyed, they demolished it and they built the new Old Trafford, the one that exists now. So it's not something that we haven't done in the past.
Yeah, but a lot of I don't know who dog is that. Just reach your mic, please. A lot of people, a lot of stadiums like White Hart Lane, where Spurs are, they kept about one third of the stadium, and they built the new stadium onto a section of the old stadium, so to keep that tradition. So there are a lot of options. The bottom line is it's going to be expensive, right?
Correct.
Whatever they choose to do is going to be expensive. If they really choose to build the stadium out and not just refurbish what exists already, that is, I mean, no, it is going to make more money. Right now, Old Trafford has like a 85,000 capacity, one of the largest stadiums in the UK. If they do any rebuilding of the stadium, obviously you're going to increase your capacity. You're not going to rebuild and keep it less. So
Mhm.
we might be going up to 90,000 plus. And we know United supporters would fill the stadium 90,000 plus, right? So
Correct.
it
Yeah,
will
we are
earn
not the
money.
empty had.
It will earn money in the long run, but it's to get it. We'll see what it goes. We'll see how it goes. Eric Ten Hag also spoke about Jaden Sancho. And what he said about Jaden Sancho is that the player is in Holland. I don't want to misquote him. Getting up to fitness physically and, you know, preparedness emotionally. And I know people will say I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but one of the challenges I have with that statement and one of the concerns I've had for Jadon Sancho is if the football team is training in preparation for our games after the World Cup, and our first game after the World Cup is on Tuesday, so it's not that far away. Um, all the other players who didn't go to the World Cup is with the team. They promoted some youngsters, and everybody is training together in Spain. If the issue is physical fitness, then why you know with the team in Spain?
I
Right?
don't
I
think.
don't think you need to be a rocket scientist unless he's recovering from an injury, which we don't have any
The
information
man
of.
getting shot. The man
Right?
getting shoot. I don't
I
know. I
don't
don't
think
know.
we need to be a rocket
The
scientist
the man getting
to ask
sold.
the question. If it is nothing is physically wrong with you, then
Well,
clearly there is
was
something else wrong.
The
no,
guy's
no, but
getting sold.
well, outside of that, I think didn't he have an before the somewhere along the point in the season he did have an injury, and he for the few games that he
Yeah,
came
but
back and he played. Wait, just now, hold on.
remember
He,
he
he,
played, he scored goals, he looked good for a
No, he
period of
didn't.
time
He didn't. He he
when he
got an
was
injury.
scoring goals. Run a 3 games where he looked okay.
But
Nah,
those
but
were friendlies. It don't count.
he got at the start of the season he did get a knock. He did have some sort of injury, and he was still not
Mhm.
looking like he was looking in preseason. So I think it's a combination of
Yeah, but
things. I
we
think
also had to remember the club never said that Jaden had an injury. Yeah? They said he's getting
well,
up to fitness, and the manager mentioned both physical and emotional. You know,
I think he's
so
a
tell me if I am mistaken in thinking that there is clearly something non-football related going on with Jaden Sancho.
no. I agree with you that there's something in the mental aspect of his game that is currently affecting his form because he does not look like the player that we know he can be, where he has the confidence. He reminds me of how Marcus was looking in the last 2 seasons, where he get the ball, but he doesn't have the confidence within himself to go past the man. So he's looking for the safe option, and that's not the type of player that he is. So I'm not surprised that he's away from the squad, working on whatever mental issues that he has, and then will be brought back into the squad, and hopefully, he turn the corner. I see Robert done set up his face already. Robert don't agree with me, but all right.
But that's all right. I mean, as it is a debate program, everybody don't have
Mm,
to agree. Zach, do you
mm.
think that Jaden get his mojo back in Holland? I mean, when I think about Holland, I think about the red light district. If people don't know what that is, good. We're not going to explain it. I think about parks where using drugs is legal. I think about probably drug rehab. There are a lot of images that come to me when I think about Holland. Uh, I don't know. What comes to your mind when you hear that Jaden Sancho
The
is in
man getting sold. I don't know why you don't understand. The man getting sold. Okay? No,
I
no,
agree
no.
with Robert.
No. Because Eric has been here for how many months, right? We have seen this movie with Ronaldo. We saw it with Van der Beek. We saw it with who else left? Brandon Williams. We saw this movie with about 5, 6 players. This same exact movie. And
but
here we
Robert,
are again with
let me
the
ask you
same
this.
movie where
Let me
he
let
by
me ask you this. Just now,
himself.
hold on.
I'm saying the man getting
Hold on.
cut.
If it is, we Ten Hag uh, is his performance, and I think most of us would say we're not satisfied. We know what
Right.
Jaden could do, and he's not doing it. And you saying that the club is setting him up for a sale. We
No, not the
already
club.
down
Eric.
and attacking Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes. Yes.
How does that make sense to sell Jaden at
No,
this
but you see,
particular time?
because I have seen how this man operates. He is very, very decisive. He makes his mind up, and this is how it is. You have to not prove yourself, and Jaden has to prove himself. Jaden has between now and probably January, February to prove himself to Eric Ten Hag. And if he doesn't, he'll be out on the same boat with Van der Beek and whoever else had a go next season. Because I have realized how this guy operates. He allows you to hang yourself, which I appreciate. I like that. I like, go ahead, let me see it. Let me see
Now,
it.
I can add a little more to the conspiracy theory here. But before I do that, I'll ask this question. How many more fragile egos do we expect Eric Ten Hag to have patience to massage? You had to deal with the diva of divas, and we all know who I mean by that. Then
Mm-hmm.
you had to deal with Dean Henderson and his ego, which
Mm-hmm.
still isn't finally resolved. You had to deal with Anthony Martial and his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to deal with Jadon Sancho and his fragile ego. You had to nurse Marcus Rashford back to health and confidence. You have to deal with Harry and whatever issues Harry does have to deal with when he started to take stick from the fans and
Harry
the
just needs
supporters.
to, go in a field and just exist as a
So
figure.
what? Did we hire Eric Ten Hag as a manager or was a therapist? Now, I firmly believe Jaden has been told, here's what partner, shape up or we shipping you out. And I think the manager has not seen enough shaping up. And I'm going to throw in a little thing into the pot here. He could be doing all of this work in Holland so that PSV could be convinced to accept him in a part deal for Cody Gakpo in January.
You wicked boys are here, bro.
Ha!
You
You
wicked.
know, I think I
I
have
just,
to
I,
shift
I,
my name. People that say I am a conspiracy theorist. Clearly, Zahir, graduate from better school than me because
No,
I didn't think
you
about
see,
that.
if
But
we can't,
who knows?
but we can't pay the money direct for Gakpo. Obviously, his asking price is going up because the young man had a great World Cup. So his
Yeah,
asking price
no,
is going up,
what you saying makes total and complete sense.
right? So we will be flouting financial fair play rules if we just spelt out money for Cody and not sell something in return. Using Jadon Sancho as a make weight to alleviate that price makes sense. And the fact that he is in Holland, where PSV can look at him without looking like they're making overt overtures to us for him, makes sense.
That makes sense. And then one of the things that I stood out in the interview is that Eric said, it'll be good or beneficial to the club if we could sell some players. And when he said that, the first thing my mind was going to was like, okay, you ain't saying that unless you already have players in your mind that you want to sell in January. You don't make a
he,
statement like
Sancho,
that
he already
unless you already
knows
have
who
them
Alex
on the
he's
list.
gonna
Tellez.
cut. He
I
already
think Sancho
knows.
is on the list. Tellez is on the list. Brandon Williams is on the list.
Van de Beek on the
And
list.
You know
I
what?
Van de
think
Beek on the list. I tell you.
Wan
mhm,
Bissaka is on the list.
Van de
Yeah.
Has
Van
to
de
come
Beek,
up.
Van Bissaka.
One has to come up the list because Dalo is currently injured. So
He-
let's
He's
let's
injured.
let,
He got
let's see
injured
who's
in the
gonna
last
let's
game.
see who's gonna start for our game, our EFL game or Carabao Cup game against Burnley. That'll be a very interesting starting lineup because I'm sure he's
Burnley, who,
gonna want to win that game.
they in the top three in the championship. Huh?
Yeah. Well, Burnley is always a tough team to play, regardless of where they are. Even when they're on the bottom of the Premier League, they were never a walkover kind of team. You
correct.
gotta really go on. You gotta beat Burnley. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They don't just lie down for anybody. So, and they normally have physical team as well. So let's see what we're going to put out there. So I want to ask this question, very very simple, very straightforward. You guys just give me your opinion. Do you all think that Jadon Sancho can work his way back into Manchester's team?
Yes.
Nope.
Ooh. Wow.
Because
Christy
these
says
young
yes,
boys,
Daniel says no. What say you, Robert?
he could. But I think he has not had to work as hard as he has to at Manchester. I think at Dortmund, you don't have all those eyes on you, so you can come and play a game. But when you come to clubs like Manchester, every eye is on you. So every move you make is criticized and scrutinized, every single thing. So every game that he has that is a poor game, the first thing that people will say is, oh, well, Jadon Sancho is a flop. Because that is what they will say.
But let me be real. When we got the young man, when we bought him, he was in his first season with us. He was in the England team, and he's not in the England team right now. So it's
No,
very
and
easy
he's
for
very.
people to say he's a flop.
Mm, another
Martin
thing.
is
So,
asking, gentlemen, are you all saying that Sancho is no longer in favor with Ten Hag?
he no
yes.
Um,
longer in favor with anybody. Ten Hag, Southgate,
And the
anybody.
fact that Southgate, right, could drop you, and Southgate is the most basic bum manager that there is. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. And Southgate is a bum. Southgate is
I
one
I
bum.
I I have to believe that what is going on with Jaden is more psychological than anything else.
No, I don't know.
And
I think that is just work.
I
I
don't
think
think that Hag, when I look at the players that Ten Hag has purchased, when I look at Malacia, when I look at Martinez, when I look at that Ajax team, he may not necessarily be the run through walls kind of manager like Jose Mourinho, but I do get the impression that he cares too much for emotionally fragile people either.
No,
Right?
let me just
I
let
don't
me
get that
just throw this
impression.
out there, right? These guys, the Jadon Sanchos, the Marcus Rashfords, the Jesse Lingards, Dean Hendersons, all these guys, whether they came through our youth system or any other youth system, I believe Jadon was City's youth system, right?
City, yeah, Manchester City, yeah.
The amount of time that is invested in the holistic development of these young players is a lot. Nobody only sits there and teach them about what goes on the field of play. A lot goes into their mental development as well. So to get to this age, partner, and still be so fragile mentally that you can't handle certain things at the biggest club in England, still I will say it, right? Now you had a cut and go, brother, Roxo, because God forbid he had to play under a captain like the old Roy Keane. The man would be wetting his bed and crying himself to sleep every night.
Yeah, but you
You
gotta
know,
understand
and I always say it.
that
Go ahead,
those
Courtney.
these millennial players, that Gen Z, they they're not naturally tough. Let's be real. They've been coddled and proddled, and the last one that I can actually say was a street baller, was Wayne Rooney. And he will come out and tell you that he would go to practice and then go out by Regina and them on the road and kick ball because he wanted to get that toughness. He come from a rough and tumble. Most of these players who go through the academy system never get a rough and tumble. They learn, quote unquote, to play football in the confines of the academy. So life was always nice. They didn't really have no hardship.
No, I would feel really disappointed, not just because we spent 2 years chasing this player, not just because of the fee we paid for this player, but I think the player has a lot to offer, and I'd be
Well,
really
Pogba had,
disappointed.
Pogba
You
had plenty to offer too, but that is what
Yeah,
happened.
well, on that note, I'll just be moving along.
No, I mean real. Lingard had a lot to
No,
offer
Because
too.
but
he's totally right. Pogba had a lot of offers, so I'm not even gonna
but
carry on with
isn't
that
that
point.
right?
I see Jesse this week. They had an article about him saying because I think he coming back to play us sometime this if in this coming window, this match window, and they wanted to hear his thoughts. And I was like, Jesse shot himself in his foot. Jesse should have just buckled down, signed a new contract. You wasn't going to be a starter. Let's be real. You're off the bench impact player. You're a squad player. Come and learn from the man. And then if you really wanted to leave after a season, because everybody came in when Eric was announced, everybody had a fresh start. You could have come and make your name, but you
Jesse should
chose.
have forced his move last year January when Newcastle wanted him.
Oh, you mean by Sam?
West Ham
When
wanted him.
West Ham wanted him, yeah. He
Hmm.
should have forced his move. I know people could say, well, he say, oh, Ole lied to me and everybody just like to throw stuff on Ole because he no longer here. And Ole is a quiet guy. He's not gonna come out in the in the,
A
in the
sign of
media and defend
Jesse's
himself.
mentality, a sign of Jesse's mentality and where Jesse's head is at. The man signed a 1 year contract with Nottingham Forest. If it was all about the football and belief and proving himself, he signing a 1 year contract tells you Jesse don't expect them to survive this season. So he taking his paycheck and he's probably one of the best paid players at the club. He taking his paycheck and running with it.
Facts.
And at this stage of his career, and there's my point. If he went to West Ham, or even if there was talk that Newcastle was interested in him at a point in time, if he went to those clubs, he could have comfortably taken a 2-3 year contract. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So gentlemen, on the record, who wins the World Cup on Sunday?
Messi.
France versus
No,
Argentina.
no. France versus Messi. Say it properly.
Wait. Let me amend my statement of France.
Thank you.
The winner of this World Cup, wherever it goes, are the owners of PSG. Because these buggers are going to win either side because they have a star player on both teams. And they're just going to hedge their bets either side and they're smiling to the bank at the end of that final.
So, talk to me, Courtney. Who do you think winning the cup?
Either if I'm being right honest with you, I really don't care. I'm not a fan of either team.
You just had to pick a
But
side and be on the record.
on the record, because I just don't want that messy good conversation to happen, I'll say France. I can't deal with you. Cannot deal with the Messi fans if Messi wins that World Cup.
So, 2 men for France. What say you, Robert?
Messi. Messi will win. Messi will win. The men and them already paid him money.
The mafia in it.
The men and them already paid him money, right? Qatar already paid him money, right? The money has been paid. Messi, not Argentina. Messi will win the World Cup. Not Argentina. Messi. Always remember, when they lose, it's the team's fault. When they win, it's Messi. Messi will win the World Cup, and then Messi will be the best thing ever. And for the rest of the next 30 years, we will hear ESPN, All In Fellas, Sky Sports, and all these clowns in Trinidad, all these fake Barca men, all these demons and them, right? Every day for the rest of my life, these men will come. Messi, Messi, Messi. I am prepared for it. Messi already paid his money. Qatar paid him money. FIFA paid him money. All right? It done. I'm sorry. If a man, right, can have a ball twice in one game, I'm sorry. I'm Yava. No, doggy, no. This man, right, could foul men.
Let's mention one other thing, Robert.
No.
When else have you heard a team play 6 games in a World Cup and get awarded 5 penalties?
Thank you. When?
And every time they get awarded a penalty that Messi stepping up to take, there's no VAR check.
Nope. No. I sorry.
So, more conspiracy theories. I am hoping that France wins, and it should be told for the very same reason that Robert thinks Messi is going to win. I cannot bear the thought of the Messiites talking about how great, how phenomenal, how unbelievable. He's an alien, he descend from heaven, oh, he's baby Jesus. All the dotishness I just hear from people who love Messi. I can't deal with it. I don't have a problem with Argentina, I'll be honest with you. If Messi wasn't on the team, Argentina could have been with it in a long time. I wouldn't have a problem.
36 years.
But you see the Messiites, oh my goodness, I can't take them.
No,
I cannot.
The thing for me is this. He wins it, and they will elevate him and say he's above Diego. But for me, he could never be to Argentina what Diego was. Diego came from the bowels of Argentina. Diego made Argentina continue the glory of Argentine football. And that 1978 hosting and winning the tournament by Argentina with Pasarela and Kempes was clouded under a shroud of bribery and allegations because of the regime that was running Argentina at the time. And there were serious questions being asked as to why FIFA put the World Cup in Argentina in 78. Check the first 2 episodes of FIFA Uncovered on Netflix.
I saw it.
Right?
I watched all of it.
So that was clouded, right? Apart from the hand of God in 86, Diego Maradona had to be the single most impactful run in a World Cup by any one player in terms of taking a team to victory in 1986. Yes, there were good players around him. But when you listen to his opponents, I listen to Lineker and those guys talk about what he did to England in that game, especially the second goal, where every time I hear Fenech bumpy gum about why the defender didn't stop the man, I just want to ask Fenech why the hell they couldn't stop Maradona on that day in '86, right? Because Senek was the last defender, as far as I recall, right? The man cannot be what Diego is because he left Argentina early. He went to an established icon of world football like Barcelona. He was there from, I believe, the age of 10, right?
Yeah.
And all he knew was the luxuries and the regalia and the pampering of Barcelona.
Yeah.
Diego Maradona took Napoli from nothingness and made the city and the club relevant. Until you could do that, you can't pass Diego. And I am not a big Diego fan, because I would put it on record that my goat, unfortunately, is close to death in Brazil. Right? So that's it for me, Dave.
I mean, I will say this, right? To me, that debate, Messi Ronaldo, to me is we are blessed to see the two of them playing today. We are blessed. We are blessed. However, it's the corruption. It's just the basic corruption. Is the violence I can't take. Is like these men don't understand. I don't see what's going on from the face. I don't like it. But to be
They
fair,
can't
Well,
right?
see it. They can't see
To
it.
be
if
fair,
it's one
Holland,
thing
right?
France, if it's one thing France knows, if they feel, and they should know very well about buying a World Cup, right?
They did because
If
they
they
poisoned
feel,
Brazil in
1998.
yes, they poisoned Brazil. Zidane
yeah,
and Henri
Platini,
poisoned Brazil.
Platini came out and said that France bought a World Cup, right? So
Yeah,
if
they
Before
it
did.
Platini
is
even said that, before Platini even said that, Diego came out before that tournament started and said that FIFA is going to rig that tournament for France to win.
It was yes, because how
right,
could Brazil right
so
just stop
so
playing football all of a sudden? Man,
so one of the things I would say is that with France knowing that, they know they have to score about three or four, right? You can't just score one, right? It ain't hard to get a team two penalties. So they're gonna have to be on the P's and Q's to have an opportunity. But I still hope France could pull it out. Let's head into the finale, the top shutter and boo boo of the week. I normally don't go first, but I'm going first today. And my top shutter has to be Kylian Mbappe. I am not an Mbappe fan, but class is class. And when you could elevate your game on the biggest stage of the world, you need to get a nod. So Kylian Mbappe. My boo-boo of the week is Croatia. You win one game in regular time. You reach all the way to the semifinals. You wait until the semifinals to play a worst game, boy. You could not play that trash in the first round. You wait until the semifinals to play such a horrible game.
Well, the man was tired. What else tell you?
no, they got paid. They got paid.
Fatigue may have been a real thing, yes. But oh gosh, boy. We're
Them men
tired.
get their
I know
money.
you ain't tired celebrate because he ain't scored how many goals. He ain't scored how many goals. You reach and you just choose that day to have the worst possible game. I mean, two defenders try to give what was his name? One from City.
Alvarez.
Alvarez, yeah.
Alvarez. Two defenders give Alvarez an assist, you know. What I can say is a nice long goal, but two defenders kick the ball on the man. I don't know. It's like a comedy of errors in that game, boy. A comedy of errors. And when you look at this team has been immaculate in the back. Whole tournament. And you wait until you meet Argentina to have your worst game. So my boo is Croatia. The whole team waste of time. Horrible week. My top shutter is Mbappe. Talk to me, fellas. Who wanna go next?
Well, for me, in the spirit of elevating the game and making an impact on the world stage, I had to give my top shot to the Moroccan football team. because what they achieved in this World Cup will do volumes for African football. It will give African teams the belief that, listen, we can stand among the big boys and represent. And even though they ended up losing 2-0 to France, I don't think it was a situation where they were embarrassed and played off the field. Right? The guys single handedly knocked out the whole Iberian Peninsula by beating Spain and Portugal. Right? So, top shotter for me, the Moroccan football team. Brazil, oh my Brazil. I gotta give Bubu of the week to Marquinhos, because not only did Croatia's equalizing goal take a deflection off his knee, the wrong foot and fly past Allison, but then you come in the penalty shootout and miss your shot, which hands them victory. So, sorry Marquinhos, but Bubu of the week is you.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Talk to me. You want to go next? We're not hearing you, Courtney. You're muted.
My top shotter is, I'll have to agree with Zahir, the Moroccan team. I think they've had an excellent World Cup and they've done a lot to show that, yeah, African football is on the rise once again. My boo boo man, it's Harry Kane, boy. Harry Kane. You had the opportunity to put your team in such a position to be in the semis. You understand? To really cement yourself in that legacy of English players that have stepped up to the plate. And you put the ball in orbit, boy.
Red, watch me. If that thing ever finds its way back to Earth, we could talk about an extinction level meteorite event, you know. That's like Armageddon, you know.
Correct. And the thing is, for the entire tournament, he has not looked good. He has not looked good. And I can't understand, and there's no problem with Southgate. You were down 2-1. Right? You all started to get a foothold in the game. But for whatever reason, you didn't play the men and them who was scoring. You bring Marcus and you bring, so I can't remember who's the next person that you bring. But the man who I thought you would have bring on.
I think I'm missing Mount.
He brought on Mount. He didn't bring on Grealish until almost the end. I
thought he would have bring on Grealish. Grealish is the man who liked to get kicked. You're looking for a goal.
The one man who almost certain to get a penalty. Most likely to get a penalty.
Correct, because he loved to take kick.
And I wouldn't lie. If France had not won that game, it would have totally been on them, because those penalties were totally unnecessary. They were both unnecessary tackles. And if they go and play Argentina like that, the score might be 10-0 on penalties. You understand what I'm saying? Because they can't play Argentina like that. That was real slackness against England. Real slackness. But I like those I like that top shotter. I like that boo-boo. Yeah. On top there. You all guys hitting the spot. Talk to me, Robert.
My top shotter is Olivier Giroud. You know, from being an Arsenal, joke, to being the top scorer in France. I mean, the man came out this World Cup. Everyone thought that Benzema's injury would have been a huge miss. Giroud came and just mashed up this World Cup. The man is, I'm not saying that the guy is like is some kind of world-class striker, but you have to put him. You have to put some respect on the man's name now. Put some respect on Giroud's name now. The man knows how to score goals. And the man has been on top this tournament, game after game after game after game. And I know for the final, he won't score because, the men of them get any money. So, right. My boo-boos, I have two. One is FIFA, right? For again, Your refereeing is garbage. It's so obvious, right? The money that's passing through your business. It's so obvious, right? And you can't come to talk about the game anymore. It is rigged. The game is rigged. But my second boo boo is the Dutch. You all are officially the Spurs of world football. All right? You all are on the Spurs of world football. When we talk about world football, when we talk about butlers, Dutch. If a man come and say, oh my word, I did a Dutch. Right. You dog, I don't understand. You have this team of the so-called best defender in the world of all time, Van Dijk. The man did nothing. He did nothing. He nothing. You have all this. You had Frankie the Young who man was chasing down for a whole summer. Oh Frankie! What Frankie do nothing? He do nothing. Nothing he do. Not one ass he do. And I'm sorry. I don't care about Gakpo. I don't care about Gakpo. I don't care. He is a Spurs man too. I don't want him. I don't want him. Because they're all them to me are Spurs players. They all pull stones. I don't like none of them. I don't want no Dutch players in my team. None. Watch Van de Beek. Watch Van de Beek. One
When I choose violence,
team. It's a
I choose
Spurs
with a
team.
rifle.
Dog.
When Robert chooses violence, is double barrel, buckshot, scatter fire, left, right, center, up and down.
Netherlands had to do one thing, right? Beat Messi. One. Men couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Yeah. Netherlands are the
And I would like
Spurs
to hear
of world
when you come
football.
back from 2-0 down to reaching
It's
2-1.
wow to Weghorst.
Thank you.
You can't do that and lose the game. You're trying to give my heart failure. You understand?
And then the men want to go and fight, right? Want to go and fight. Win the fight now. Big Van Dijk, who he opposed, nobody a big.
It's a good thing this thing say boo boo of the week and not boo hoo of the week, because boo hoo of the week would have had only one winner.
Uh-huh.
The man who couldn't be bothered to stay on the field to say goodbye to fans, but crying like a baby walking on the tunnel, right? Because it's all about me.
Well,
Why? That
it
next
could,
thing too.
as my brethren say, it could film.
No, it's good for him. That was a moment. That was a moment to redeem yourself a little bit and show a little humility and show that, hey, look, my last game, it's out, it's over, the dream is done. I'm going to say goodbye to my fans. You bust out going down tunnel and camera had to be following you crying, going, oh yeah, it's Luka Modric last tournament, Thiago Silva last tournament, Dani Alves last tournament, Olivier Giroud's last tournament. You're not going to see these guys at the World Cup again, right? Hopefully Southgate last tournament.
It have
And
to
these
be.
fellas say goodbye to their fans and
Harry
they went
Kane.
off with dignity.
Harry Kane, you're a Spurs man too. You're a Spurs man in orbit.
I will offer one little piece of defense for Harry Kane, even though I'm not a Harry Kane fan. Maybe he just really overthunk it because, hey, as your club keeper, you know where you went for the first penalty and you're just overthinking how the man might try to
That
cycle.
is exactly what happened.
No.
If it was
Just
not,
overthink it, went for power down the middle and, well,
The man Spursed himself. Because he plays for Spurs. You don't
you
understand?
know what they say. You can take the man from Spurs, but you can't take the
can't
Spurs
take
from
his
the
face.
man.
Well, it's just yet again another Harry lets down the monarchy, but we'll not go down there.
I was gonna say it,
like-
but I ain't seen nothing.
Subscribe, comment Merry Christmas so that you could be eligible to win that Harry Maguire signed Harry Maguire shirt or Christmas giveaway.
You got a
And
payment to take that shirt, boys.
have a wonderful
Well, they're choosing violence tonight for you. Good.
Yeah, wait till
have a
Sunday.
wonderful Thursday. Have a wonderful Thursday, and we're gonna be right back here on Sunday. We're gonna have a little pre-World Cup content, and we're gonna have old talk where we're gonna be talking about the game. So stay safe. See you all on Sunday, people.
Later, guys.